We are Fairy Tale!
I am Natsu Dragneel.
Hey, I'm Gray.
Put your clothes back on, you damn underpants, Shogun.
Oh, you want to go, General Snowface?
Yeah, come on, bring it, droopy eyes.
I'm Loki, and ladies, my number is... And you can text me anytime.
I am Elfman, here for my fist to meet your face.
Natsu!
What?
Hi. Hey, Natsu!
Huh?
Lucy likes you.
Don't say weird shit like that when I'm trying to fight Gray! Oh yeah? Well, you still haven't beaten me yet, Gray.
Oh yeah, you want to go again? No.
Gray it did!
Until the two of you are stronger than me, no fighting!
I'll be good.
Erza, why don't you just let them be? Isn't it better this way?
Hey, Charle. Yeah? Here's a biscuit cup for you. No way.
Hey, Natsu.
Huh?
Remember when I asked you if I could be your wife a long while back?
Uh-huh.
That question still stands.
What?
It still stands.
Don't you get involved in this, Gray.
Is the big bad Natsu gonna get angry?
Fire Dragon's Fist!
Whoever the hell else we feel like bringing into the show, I'll give you a clue. Shoobiduba! So, welcome to episode 16 of the Fairy Tale Podcast. We've got an interesting episode for you today. We're going to go through episodes 27 and 28 of the anime. As always, we've got Charle's Magical Education, Cooking with Elfman, and Reedus Gallery to go over. And we've got the manga recap going on pretty strong with Chapter 251. And guys, I'm well aware of how late this is, so if we start talking about stuff that happened after September with AWA, don't be too surprised. But we'll probably be talking about a bunch of that in podcast news, just so you guys know. Alrighty, actually moving on to podcast news. Wow, so much to cover, and I'm wondering if we should wait until we're actually kind of more current until our next episode. Yeah, I think we'll talk about AWA next episode, but if you guys were there, you know what I'm talking about. There was a lot of really, really cool stuff that went on in AWA. Once more, I want to go ahead and let you guys know that we're actually recording this, like I said, really, really late. It should have been recorded last month, but it is October the 8th, and we've been up for about 38 days on our feed for iTunes and everything, and oh my God, it's crazy. Like, thank you guys so much. We cannot possibly say enough, especially if you've been looking on our Twitter, because lately I've been becoming a bit of a Twitteraholic, or a Twitter whore, as I call myself. But today we released episode 14, and that's already gotten 19 downloads, and it's been up for like maybe a couple hours, so really, really awesome. But we broke the 15,000 mark on our downloads, so all of you listening to us, Korea, Japan, the U.S., wherever you are that you're listening to us, we want to thank you guys so much. I mentioned who our top three are. Korea actually overtook France.
Really?
That was crazy. Yeah, France is now number 2, and Korea's our number 1, and then the U.S. is in third. It's still we're getting a lot of downloads in Japan, which is really actually like tickling me. It's going to be pretty awesome. But we're going to try and record everything we can this weekend and on Monday so that we're pretty much ready to go and we're up to date when I go up to New York for New York Comic Con. And I'm talking to the Funimation rep right now about scheduling and everything because we're going to try and get all those wonderful interviews in for you. All right. So, yeah, that's how it's going. Woot, woot. So we're going to start the show. That's going to be that podcast news for me. And I'm going to hand things over to Charle, who has our convention updates for Fairy Tale news.
We have New York Comic Con, October 13th through the 16th in New York. And again, we have Zero Mishima, Jeremy Lay, Colin Clinkenbeard, Todd Havercorn, and Newton Pittman. Then we have EXP Con in October 21st through the 23rd, which is in St. Augustine, Florida. And we only have Chris Sabat. Then there's YumaCon, that's November 3rd through the 6th in Detroit. And we have Tia Ballard there. Then we have Anime Blast, which is November 4th through the 6th in Chattanooga. And we have Todd Havercorn and Colin Clinkenbeard. Then there's Anime Vegas, which is November 11th through the 13th in Las Vegas. And we have Colin Clinkenbeard and Todd Havercorn. Then there is YuleCon, which is November 18th through the 20th in Fort Worth, Texas. And we have Tia Ballard attending that. And that is all for the English cast of Fairy Tale's con appearance.
Don't really have a lot in the way of Fairy Tale news. Obviously, if you're listening to us now, that means hopefully that for those of you who are current with the manga, you are probably doing the same thing we were doing last week, right before our panel. 253 came out, and when we read that, we were like, oh, God.
Oh, no, when we read it, we're all huddled in, like, little circles over here with smartphones going, oh, my God, what the hell?
Yeah, everybody was sitting together with a smartphone, and we were basically having the same emotional fit at the same time. It was hilarious. Wish we'd have kind of got that on videotape. I'd have posted that quick. So, moving on. That is our Fairy Tale news, and we are going to move on to the anime recap. Alright, so this week we're talking episodes 27 and 28. This is kind of wrapping up the Phantom Lord arc. And it more or less starts off with Natsu fighting against Gajiel. And I don't want to give a lot of it away, but yeah, that's pretty much the majority of this fight is Natsu versus Gajiel. And you get to see Dragon Slayer versus Dragon Slayer, and that says enough as it is already. Alright, so Jose actually creates this little monster that basically destroys the Fairy Tale Guild, like the building, and Natsu sees that, and that's like this insanely bad thing to have happened, and Natsu sees it, and actually Lucy realizes that she actually has one key left, and summons Sagittarius, who is our newest member. He is in a horse suit for some reason, and he is an archer.
In a horse suit.
Sagittarius. As soon as Natsu sees that the guild has been destroyed, he goes into flashback mode of meeting everybody and in his experiences in the guild. I think probably the best scene of this whole episode is when he's sitting there naming off the foods, and you realize he can't really read. And then Erza decides she's going to teach him to read and write. And he's like, I don't want to, you're scary. And then he has Lisana flashback with Happy. Lucy's crying. And everybody's like, man, he's fought so many people. If he only had fire, he'd be able to fight. Sagittarius shoots some of the machinery behind, creates fire, which gives Natsu something to eat, and he powers up. And the fight recommences, and he's fucking awesome. So, yeah, that wraps up episode 27 in a nutshell. It it was pretty much just Natsu versus Gajiel. That was really the highlight of that show. 28 kicks off with more Natsu versus Gajiel, but this is the climax of this particular battle, and we get to see a bit more of the fighting with Erza and Jose. There's a lot of that fight going on, and then something stops her, and oh my god, her armor starts coming back together, and oh, dun 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 dun, Master has showed up, and he's going to fight against Jose, so both Masters facing off against each other, and then we get a brief exposition away from that with Mistgun, and if you've been wondering where he's been this whole time, he's actually been destroying all of Phantom's little guilds and places, and he has all their flags. So he basically raped everybody except for the one place in the main Phantom area. Jose is going to fight with Master, and that whole thing concludes. And everybody starts sensing it as Master casts Fairy Law, which is this amazing ability. I'm not gonna say too much, but all you need to know is, of course, Fairy Tail wins. And I love how it all ends with Natsu laying down on the destroyed guild for Phantom Lord, just smiling, saying, Grandpa. So, yeah, that was our 2 anime episodes for this week. And we'll go ahead and get the opinions of everyone on the crew right now. So, Charle, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Paws up all the way.
Gray.
Thumbs up.
Loki.
Thumbs up.
Elfman.
Thumbs up.
And Lisana.
Thumbs up.
Alright, so what's one thing you liked or didn't like about these particular episodes? Charle.
When it dawned on Sagittarius that they didn't want him to create fire, they just needed his help, so he started shooting stuff.
Gray.
Natsu eats fire and owns.
Loki.
The battle with Gajiel and Natsu.
Alright. Elfman.
Fairy Law.
And Lisana.
What the heck was Sagittarius wearing?
Alrighty. And last but not least, what did you think was better, the anime or the manga for this particular set of the story? Charle.
I'm gonna have to go with the anime.
Gray.
Yeah, the anime.
Loki.
Anime.
Elfman.
The animal.
Lisana.
Anime.
Alrighty, so that wraps us up for the anime recap, and we are going to start off into our segments, starting with Charles' Magical Education.
On this segment of Charles' Magical Education, I am going to discuss Wendy. Wendy's magic type is a caster type, and her magic is Sky Dragon, and she is also a Dragon Slayer. Wendy is a young Dragon Slayer who, like Natsu, was trained by a dragon who left her 7 years ago. Wendy was a part of Kate Shelter, but switched to Fairy Tail, and like Natsu, she also has a cat, and her cat's name is Charle! Okay, Wendy's magic is the Sky Dragon Slayer magic, which is a lost magic. It allows her to use the element of wind to heal herself. Also, the cleaner the air around her, the better her magic works. Wendy's magic is a more support magic instead of an attack magic. She can increase her team's attack power and speed. Wendy can also cast Veneer on others to stop them from, aka, feeling sick on a boat. Natsu. But she can't cast her magic on herself. Also, she cannot regenerate her magic from magic that she has created on her own. And that wraps it up for Charles' Magical Education. Going to hand it over to Elfman for Cooking with Elfman.
On today with Cooking with Elfman, I'm going to teach you how to make the Sinner's Sandwich. First off, you're going to need a lot of balls. But also, you're going to need a loaf of white crustless bread, 2 turkey breasts, a jar of high-quality strawberry jam, and any type of cereal that you want, as well as butter or margarine. First off, you want to slowly cook the turkey breast until it is done inside, along with a little bit of butter. Then, when it's finished, when you get 2 pieces of bread, spread a little butter on one and the strawberry jam liberally on the other. Cut the turkey breast into medium slices at an angle, and lay the pieces onto the buttered piece of bread. Then pick a cereal of any choice and spread generously on a conserve or jam. Then finally, place the second piece of bread, strawberry side down on top, and cut the sandwich diagonally. So you can stack these if you want. It's a gigantic one. And I've tried them, and they're really, really good.
Sounds
and that's
absolutely delectable.
Very, my good sir.
Arrow.
Nummy, 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 nummy.
I'll make some for everybody sometime.
Yay!
And that was Cooking with Elfman. I'll pass it on to Lisa for Reedus Gallery.
Welcome to another installment into Reedus Gallery. For this week's picture, I've chosen a picture titled Perfect Defense by Golden Tigers, which, unlike a bunch of the last people, I can actually pronounce their username. Anyways, it's a picture of Erza and Jellal looking awesome, casting magic, just kind of being cool. Something that's really, really interesting about this picture is the posing, for one. The anatomy actually looks good and believable. And then the background is there's so much depth in the background. It's unbelievable. Kind of liking the way that they shaded the hair. There's always something about, I cannot shade hair for my life, so it's really interesting to see how they use, what looks like multiple layers just to shade the hair. And also what's really interesting is that if you look at Jellal, you can kind of see Erza's hair reflecting off of his, if you get that. Kind of that reddish tone. That's something you don't see very often. But I like how the folding in the clothing was shaded in, the posing, the perspective, and all the little shiny things that are on their clothing. They're kind of cool. So I'm going to go around the table and ask everybody's opinions. Alright. Elfman, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Loki?
As long as Erza doesn't kill me, thumbs up.
Natsu?
Erza's scary. I mean, thumbs up.
Alright. Gray?
We're best of friends. Yeah, thumbs up.
Hi!
And Charle?
Paws up.
Alright. What is one thing you liked or disliked about this picture? Elfman?
I'm sorry, what was the question? Boobies. You know what I mean? Not boobies, but swords. Yes, swords. Sorry.
Alright. Good save. Alright, Loki.
Must resist urge to upskirt, duck.
I'll take it. Okay. Natsu?
Boobies.
Okay.
She is so going to kill us.
Who the fuck bedazzled Gerard's pocket? That's what I want to know.
I bet he's happy.
Seriously, look where his hand is.
Mm-hmm.
He's
not going up towards the boobs. He's going down somewhere else. So don't anyone ever call me a perv. We know who the real perv is.
That would be I.
Gray?
It is.
And Charle?
I like the pose. I like how Erza's hands is on Gerard's chest, and then his hand is on her back. The only thing I don't like, though, is the sword, like the part that's actually facing Gerard. I know his thumb is blocking half of it, but there should actually be a little more of the sword on the other side of his hand.
No, we all know where that hand's getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Okay. One word to describe this picture. Elfman.
Attack!
That can mean a multitude of things. Loki.
Upskirt.
Natsu.
Lolita.
Gray.
Circles.
And Charle.
I'm gonna have to say sex.
Over the phone.
Sex. See, we're not the only one.
You're one of us now.
One of us. One of us.
Don't tell anybody.
Too late.
One of us.
Okay, so, click send on Fairy Tale Podcast. Charle is a pervert.
Charle is a pervert. Charle
That should be main news.
I might actually do that now.
Today on Fairy Tale Podcast, Charle is a pervert.
And Gray and Natsu are the best of friends.
So this is going to wrap us up for this week's entry, and I'm going to hand it back to Natsu.
Alright, so that takes care of all of our segments, and we are now going to move on to the manga recap. So this week's chapter is chapter 252, and it's called To My Shitty Brats, Full of Pride. Best title ever!
Yeah.
A comfortable life, full of personal space and time, is all the heart needs. So smile. And I love the opening for this, like the cover and everything. Like, it was just so awesome. And I was like, oh, Master's chillin'. What's gonna happen this episode, this chapter? And then fuckers bashed all my hopes and dreams. Yeah. And then we end up with the island, and the touching moment between father and daughter is over.
Huh? Over there. This feeling.
Endless cries of war rain down over Tenro Island. What is the true form of Acknowledgia that has shaken even Seraph?
Yeah!
What's that?
It's damn loud!
This voice.
What is it?
Cry of a dragon.
Eh?
A dragon?
Is everyone okay?
You guys. He must be from back then.
Over there!
What is that?
It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Elfman!
Excelsior.
It's huge!
That's what
That's what she said.
Is
Dragon!
What the heck is that?
that for real?
A real-life dragon.
I knew it. Dragons really do exist.
The Black Dragon of the Apocalypse. Acknowledgia!
You! Over there! You know where Igneel is right now, don't you? And Grindeline! And Metallicana too!
Knock it off, Natsu. Whoa, dude. It's coming down, dude.
That's what she said.
Crash! Roar, roar, blarg. And Epic Dragon of Doom Panel.
Man, I've got to draw this dragon sometime.
More Epic Dragon of Doom and surprise shock faces. I like how we get like panel after panel after panel shock face. And then the best part is that Happy's tail looks like it was shocked by electricity.
I love it when cats' tails puff up and they get startled. It's funny.
Yeah, and they're sitting there going...
And then we have Dragon Takeoff
Run for it!
and Dragon Fly and Natsu Eye. And then we have more Dragon Rampage.
Is this for real?
Look at the destruction it caused!
What the heck is that?
And where the hell did it come from?
Hurry, to the ship!
Om nom 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 nom.
What, dude?
It's
Oh
hungry.
my god, man!
Time for a snack.
Oh my god.
Run! Everyone! We're all going back together to Fairy Tale!
Wendy, you can talk to dragons, can't you? Can't you do something about this?
It's not like they know their tongue, but all dragons are incredibly intelligent. That dragon should definitely be able to understand words.
In spite of that, the reason it doesn't use words is because it doesn't think of humans as anything more than insects. You wouldn't stop and talk to a pest buzzing around you. It's the same for the dragon.
Roar means I love you in dragon.
You also wouldn't bother taking an obnoxious insect seriously for even a moment. There are things in this world that you cannot oppose or fight back against, no matter how hard you try. Mankind will come to learn this shortly. It appears we will be embarking on a long journey again. This era is coming to its end. Farewell, Natsu. You! And then epic master standoff pose.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh man!
Master!
Run! Get to the ship!
And then epic fight move, no jutsu.
This is fucking
apparently he's wrestling with him. But he grabbed the neck. That's the worst thing to do. You gotta go from like the pits of the legs. Center of gravity, man. Center of gravity.
You gotta take his leg and chuck it about.
Right?
It's useless. There's no way you can fight that.
Master, stop it, please.
Run!
Dude, if you're gonna pick a fight with that, we're coming too.
Let's smash that thing to pieces, man.
Do you plan on even disobeying your master's final orders? You shitty brats!
Did he say final?
I'm a dragon slayer. If anyone's gonna be that thing's opponent, it's gonna be... Ah!
We are getting out of here, Natsu.
Look, sis, you bet...
Master.
It's better this way. You'll understand. Someday. What is the meaning behind your tears? Does the death of a person make you sad? Can sadness itself kill a person? The answer lies in each and every one of your hearts. My shitty brats full of pride. Now live on! Into the future!
Markarov's feelings as he lays his life on the line. Is it impossible to progress into the future without first making a sacrifice? To be continued in chapter 253. Let's hold hands. Yeah, let's go ahead and go around the room, or the call, or the table, whatever you want to call it. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Charle.
Paws up.
Gray.
Thumbs up.
Loki.
Spirit thumbs up.
Elfman.
Thumbs up.
Lisana.
I think it would be bad if I didn't say thumbs up.
And Erza.
Thumbs up.
Alright, so what's one thing you liked or didn't like about this chapter? Charle.
I don't like that Master's fighting.
Gray.
I'm gonna agree with
Loki.
Gajiel's the only one not crying at the end. I guess his heart is made of steel as well.
Elfman.
Sadness!
Lisana.
All of my cries?
Right. Erza.
I didn't like the silly pauses.
Okay. Alright, now, we kind of already know where this is going, so we're going to skip the predictions for now.
Yeah.
Not even going to pretend. We were really, really behind on. Yeah, we're going to skip predictions and just go to, what did you guys think of the recap? And first and foremost, I wanted to know this real quick. How many of you actually cried when you read this chapter?
I did, just a little.
Hey, I was standing in front of you and looked at you with a little whimpering lip.
Alright, so all I'm going to say right now is this. If you didn't cry in this chapter, I think you might be okay. But when this recap comes up on the podcast, you might not want to listen to it if you did cry. Because I'm putting the sad piano music in the background.
Oh,
yeah, I'm doing the fairy tale theme. I'm doing the fairy tale theme's piano version. But if you want it to sound, if you're wanting to have us listen to us when we're reading the dialogue and you're looking at the manga while all this is going on, I'm telling you right now, you guys might cry. So you probably already done it because we finished the manga chapter. But yeah, if you cried, email us back, call us, whatever, tweet us, let us know. Just remember to tweet and say @FairyTalePodcast to Natsu. Just say, Natsu, you bastard, you made me cry. You know, whatever.
Oh,
all right.
Like a baby.
So finally, what did you guys think of the recap, Charle?
This recap was fun because I got to be a pervert.
You always are in bed.
Gray.
This recap went quick because we were down a few people.
Yeah, right? Loki.
It went fast.
Elfman.
Hooray for perverted pussy.
You can't go wrong with that.
Lisana.
It went by with very few problems.
Erza.
This recappy was recap.
Okay. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but okay. Alright, so that will pretty much wrap us up for this episode of the podcast, and all that is left is just basically to name this episode. So, episode 16 should be called what? Charle.
Sadness and pervertedness and oh my acknowledge ya.
Okay. Elfman.
Acknowledges fired his laser.
Erza.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a dragon.
Gray.
You're all gonna cry when you listen to this, and oh my god, that stinks!
Lisana.
A bucket for your tears. You'll need it.
A bucket for your tears. Awesome. I like that. Loki.
It's not Superman.
It's a dragon!
Alright, and I think I'm going to call this one Zaref's little friend. That's my vote for it.
Little.
Ha ha ha.
Little.
Yeah,
really?
that's just like the 6 foot, 200-pound black man they call Tiny.
Right, okay.
Racist.
Alright, so that is going to do it for us for this episode, and we are going to play through all the ways that you can get a hold of us.
Find out about the latest fairy tale news, when the next episode is out, or to post on our blogs and let us know what you thought, visit fairytalepodcast.wordpress.com. You can also send us an email to fairytalepodcast@gmail.com.
Of course, all our videos are up on YouTube until we find a good feed to host them for iTunes and Zune. However, we do not have all the audio up on our Mega Upload account, which is linked in the description for every video we post up.
If you want to follow us on Twitter to see what pretty pictures we find, new logos, con info, and awesome music, follow us at FairyTaleCast.
Keep up to date on when the newest episodes and chapters come out, as well as chat with other fans of the podcast and the Fairy Tale community. Discuss all your latest obsessions, share news, and chat with the crew of the podcast. Also be sure to send us your AMVs to post as well as any cosplay images you have. Help our community of fans to grow.
So, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Apparently Korea does. Jeez, thank you guys so much in Seoul, Korea. Epic shout out to all of you guys for downloading the stuff. We love you guys so much. And of course, France, we're not forgetting about you. You guys were the second most downloaded. And finally, the U.S. in third place. Britain, you'll need to kind of work on that. UK, spread the fairy tale love. If the United Kingdom is getting beaten by the French, what's that saying about the United Kingdom?
No. We're working on a plan.
Yeah, there's a plan of brewing?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Alright, so,
Yeah.
we really appreciate that you love this, and we're glad that you like our segments. Of course, if you would like to send us an email, send it to fairytalepodcast@gmail.com. You can also help us out by donating to that Konoha Corner podcast donation link, because that kind of covers both of us. And go to their website, which is konohacornerpodcast.webs.com. Click on that little donation button and help us out. We will be going to, well, at least I will be going to New York Comic Con and getting you all the awesome interviews. I'd be taking somebody with me, but unfortunately everybody's like crazy busy that weekend.
I'm not.
So.
I could try.
Hey, hand.
Get your ass up here. But again, don't forget the reason why we're all here, and that of course is the Fairy Tale series. Help keep Hiro Mashima employed, and it's really, really simple to do that. Purchase the anime that's coming out in November the 22nd. Go ahead and pre-order that on Amazon.
Pre-order that
And you can also pre-order on Funimation. Make sure you guys go and check that out. The first 2 episodes of the dub are actually up, and we are going to be talking about that next episode. So we're going to critique episode 1 and 2 of the dub. So I hope you're looking forward to that in 17. The other ways is to purchase the manga, any video games that come out, and all the incredible swag. Believe it or not, there's actually Fairy Tale swag out there. Proof positive, Erza has a happy t-shirt.
Yep.
And that's not a joke for anything. It's actually a big blue t-shirt that has Happy's face on it. It's awesome. I've got a Happy plushie. We gave away 2 book bags for Fairy Tale, a Natsu towel. There's all sorts of stuff all over there. I mean, most places are going to have, like, keychains, but if you look hard enough, you'll find some good stuff. Alrighty. So, yeah, that is pretty much how to do it. Remember, mages are so much cooler than internet pirates. So I am Natsu Dragneel, and I am saying, God damn it, let me hit that dragon!
I'm Charle, and I'm saying, hey, kitty cats can be perverts too. I mean, hello, we do lick our own, you know.
I am Elfman, and I feel like pulling a fist of a North Star here.
I'm Erza, and it's 11:11. Make a wish.
I'm Gray, and Elfman double team on Charle now.
What?
I'm Lisana, and I really don't want to know where this is going.
I'm Loki, and I certainly know where it is going.
Oh my god.
Remember, I'm a kitty cat, and you guys are gonna get charged of bestiality.
Alright, so
Hey,
that
I'm a
wraps
lion,
it up
it counts.
for us. We are signing out. Peace out from the greatest guild in the world.